Hello, and welcome again to All Around Town. My name is Roger Wilson, and I'm the Director of Government Affairs and Public Policy. Today's guest is the Mayor of Thurmont, John Kennard. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, Roger. It's nice to be here.
You bet. So what's going on in Thurmont?
All kinds of things going on. We're getting ready to get into our Christmas season. We have our Christmas tree lighting the Saturday after Thanksgiving, and we have Christmas in Thurmont on December the 1st. And we have a lot of plans. Actually, we have a special event this year. We're having a train set up for each weekend during December, being displayed by the Frederick County Society of Model Engineers. I'm going to give them a plug. They're from right here in Frederick. They have a place out on East Patrick Street. Okay. So if you have time, come up there Saturdays from 10 to 4, Sundays from noon to 4. It should be a great display of trains set up by them.
Mm-hmm. And for our new viewers, where's Thurmont?
Thurmont's north of Frederick, about 16 miles north of Frederick, about 8 miles from the Pennsylvania line. So just keep going up Route 15. You can't miss us.
Okay. And how many residents does it have?
6,400.
Okay. All right. And you're the second largest municipality?
We are the second largest municipality in Frederick County, yes, but we are the number one municipality.
I see. I understand that. Yes. Well, we love Thurmont, and we would like to see what's going on there. And tell me more about the community and what's been happening there over the last year.
We've had quite a few changes in town. We've had some new businesses. We've had business leave. We had a new subdivision put in last year. There's going to be a small extension of that coming up, and we have another subdivision that's planning on coming before the Planning and Zoning Board. They've already made a preliminary presentation, and that'll be a subdivision of about 31 to 32 houses off of Emmitsburg Road.
Mm-hmm. Is that mixed housing, or is it
single family?
Single family.
Single family homes, yes.
Okay, very good.
And the other subdivision are townhouse units. So we have townhouses and single families.
Mm-hmm. So talk more about the businesses that have started there.
We just had a new business come to town, a company called Barnhouse Studio. A gentleman named Myron Barnhouse was an artist, and he was stationed lived in Paris for several years. Okay. And his daughter has opened a studio. Just last weekend, we had a ribbon cutting for her, and she's selling prints of her father's work and original sketches and original artwork. And it's very intense artwork, is the best way to put it. He was in France for a few years and was evidently heavily influenced by the Holocaust. And a lot of his works really bring out some dark feelings, and they're very impactful.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm sure there's a lot of stories to be told there.
Yeah, and if you go up there, Kat is his daughter's name, and she'd be glad to show you everything and explain it to you. She's a very interesting person and a very interesting art gallery. Mm-hmm. And we're very glad to have them here in town.
And you said they live in Thurmont also?
I'm not sure she lives in Thurmont now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think she probably does live somewhere close by.
Okay, good. Now, I'm always intrigued when I come up to Thurmont and I see the big flag, waving. Tell us more about that expansion of the car dealership.
The Criswell Chevrolet? Mm-hmm. Criswell Chevrolet purchased Bogley Chevrolet several years ago. It's 3 or 4 years ago now. Then he purchased the Cozy Restaurant and all the property that was included in Cozy. And he's built a very nice Chevrolet garage, and they're in a process now of getting permitting for a Chrysler dealership, which will be right across his road from the Chevrolet garage. So they've invested very heavily in our community, and we appreciate their investment in our town. They've probably got $15 million worth of cars sitting there, and I know the building costs $4 or $5 million, and they're going to spend another $4 or $5 million on their new building. So it is quite an investment, and they're actually working right now to rebuild the car wash that's there. They purchased the car wash. They're going to improve that and make a lot of nice changes in there. So we're very happy they're here.
Good, good. So talk more about the what's going on in the town itself. Any new legislation that you guys are looking at?
No, not much at all right now. It's pretty quiet. We're getting ready to start on a master plan again, and I envision that to start probably within the next year or so. And that's always a pretty heavy undertaking. It lasts, can last 9 months to a year. Mm-hmm. So that'll be coming up for our planning and zoning. We're also reviewing again some of our sign ordinances. We implemented some new sign ordinances last year, and we've come up against some issues with several of them, so we're going to be reviewing those. One of interest to you was, of course, the campaign sign issue. We can't, of course, you can't limit speech. So what we decided to do was to limit the size of the signs. So you could have as many signs as you wanted, but they couldn't be larger than a certain size. And we had some issues with some people putting up campaign signs larger than were allowed. And pretty much we had really no problems with anybody. We asked them to take them down, they took them down.
Was that a problem just throughout the town, or was it just at the polling location?
It's a problem all through town.
Okay.
You know, we have a lot of very tight streets in town. You get a lot of those big 4-foot by 6-foot or 8-foot signs, and they can block the view. So we decided to make them all one size smaller, you know, it didn't impact the line of sight for people that were driving.
Mm-hmm. Now, now we're in the season of giving and reflection and thanks. I know you often play Santa Claus.
Yes, I do.
Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, playing Santa Claus to me is probably the best thing I do all year long. I'm next to be married to my wife.
Okay, good.
Wife is first, Santa Claus
That's
is
good.
second. But yeah, I do Santa Claus primarily at Christmas in Thurmont. I'll be there all day long. We take photographs for kids and Santa Claus and give them free copies of it. And I do some senior residences. I've done schools. I've got 2 or 3 scheduled for schools. I've got a couple private places to go to. And I'm also going to be playing Santa Claus at the train display in Thurmont. And also I work with the Walkersville and Southern Railroad. They have Santa Claus rides all this month, and I'll be helping them out for a couple of days.
Okay, good. And how many people usually does that attract each year?
We'll have 400 or 500 people for photographs on Christmas in Thurmont, and the rest of the time I'll go someplace. There'll be on the Walkersville train. There'll be 500 people there. So a lot of people come out today, and it's a lot of fun. And, you know, and the best part is getting to sit with kids without their parents sitting there holding on to them. And kids tell you some really honest truths about themselves and their families, and they ask for some very touching things sometimes.
Okay, all right. Any examples of kids asking for
We get a lot of kids that ask for their jobs for their mom and dad.
Oh, wow.
Or you know, their mother's sick or their daddy's sick, and they ask for that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's difficult to answer those questions.
Mm-hmm.
But you sit quiet with them for a few minutes and talk to them, and they leave happy.
Okay, good. Any adult kids?
Yeah, we get lots of adults sit on my lap.
I'm sure they ask for big things.
They pull the beard.
Oh, they try it out.
They try it out, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, big kids sit on me. At the Christmas in Thurmont, we've got groups of people that come every single year. Bunches of adults come get their picture taken. People bring their dogs. We've had people bring cats. So we're open to anything for a photograph. We have a good time. It's a good time on December the 1st in Thurmont. Very
good. And do you have props, or do you have reindeer? Or
no, we don't have reindeer. We actually tried to get reindeer one year, and there was a problem with the reindeer, so we gave up on that.
Okay.
But we're having wagon rides this year. You can get a horse and wagon ride. Santa Claus arrives by fire truck at 9 o'clock in the morning, so that's a big event for kids to love to see that. Okay. And we just have a great time. It's right in McCainstown Square Park. I'm in Santa will be in the gazebo, and right behind Santa is the town Christmas tree. So that's always a very nice backdrop.
Okay, very good. Well, we're looking forward to spending Christmas in Thurmont, and you know, it'd be good to see you. I hope you won't be coming down my chimney on Christmas.
Has Santa ever visited you, little boy?
I don't know. The jury's still out.
You're on the naughty list.
Yes, I'm sure. Well, thank you so much for coming in, and thank you for all you do outside of Town Hall and in our community. Yeah. You are
Frederick County is the best place to live.
Yes.
In the entire United States of America. I can tell you that from personal experience, and I love it.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Well, that wraps up our episode this time. Please join us again for All Around Town. Thank you.